Hello, cohort 6. This is Eric Wehrman coming to you from Bothell, Washington. Just moved here. I work at the Boeing Everett plant. Been there almost 6 years. July 22nd will be my anniversary. It's been good. What's the next thing we got? Family tidbits. Born and raised in Montana. 26 years Montanan. 6 years Washingtonian, and you can do the math. People say that I should consider myself a Washingtonian now, but until I've been here as long as I lived in Montana, I think the influence is much greater from Montana, so that's where I say I'm from. Let's see, personal hobbies. Actually, let's go back into family. I have a mom and a dad. That's how I was made. And three older brothers. 2 of them are 12 years older. Those are half brothers, and the other one's 6. He's my full brother. And growing up, all boys, it was hustle and bustle family. They actually were out of the house pretty early, so from about 11 on, I was somewhat of an only child, and it shows. Just kidding. It was great. It was a great childhood. Had a lot of fun. Played outside a lot. Luckily, didn't break any bones. Jumping off the house on the trampoline. I had both my grandparents for a long time. They kind of instilled the, I say, punishment and respect factor that I have and that I got from Montana. And then added another family member, and then a whole nother crew with my wife last November. Kelsey McLean / Wehrman. There's no hyphen. It's just Wehrman. I just want to tell you her last name. Swooped her up from the Chipton Ross crew that worked in Everett. And it's been bliss. Let me tell you what, the last 3 years. Little plug, she's behind the camera. Personal hobbies, love lifting. Played soccer and basketball, intramural sports my whole life. But due to the knees not wanting to participate as much as I want to participate, I started to get rid of some of that. But I still love lifting. Other hobbies, entrepreneurial ventures. Love to grow and to look for things that provide the best possible life possible, because, you know, growing up in Montana, it was a neck down mentality where you got paid hourly wage and you worked to your efforts. You got paid based on your efforts that you could do with your hands and, you know, grunt work. But here you start to learn and meet people that teach you how to work from the neck up, where you're not beating your body up as much, and you can really focus on building long-term wealth. And it really helps to have influences from successful people, kind of like Kelsey's dad, who's a broker, and he's been an awesome person to bounce ideas off of, and just meeting new people here. And I think that kind of travels into the largest life accomplishment. Thinking about this one, you know, first person in my family to go to college. I think I was a success in my parents' eyes, but to me it was just, you know, the next step that all my friends was doing. I don't think that there's a life accomplishment. I mean, I graduated, but you know, anybody can graduate from college. They just allow you to keep going. My cousin's a perfect example of that. He went for 12 years and finally got his degree, but, you know, anybody can graduate from college. So it's an accomplishment to graduate, but for me it's not really, you know, a milestone, I'd say, of my life. Hopefully that doesn't sound too harsh to people who really, yeah, that's okay. Moving on. And then getting married, right? So family was plagued by divorce and premarital children. For me, that didn't happen. I've been married for not even a year yet, and I'm 32 years old, so no kids, and kind of did the traditional route, if you will. And for me, that's an accomplishment, and it's a calculated thing. And yeah, I think that was a huge accomplishment in my life. But, you know, the biggest accomplishment I think that I found so far is finding that I value people, and finding that you can investing in people and being able to communicate and connect with anybody of any race at any time is a valuable life lesson that I've learned. And I realized getting here and seeing the diversity of the culture that a lot of people can't do that, and they struggle, or the people that are awkward. And I relish in the moment for the grumpy person or the awkward person, or there's a little bit of language barrier. Everyone's the same on the inside, and we just because our language is a little different doesn't mean that we are different people. And, you know, everyone wants to be communicated with and connected with. And I think valuing people and being around people is the biggest thing that I've learned, and maybe a milestone of life. Let's see, what do you think about leadership? Life changer, game changer, was it reading Extreme Ownership? Emulate that in every aspect of life. Me and my wife often talk about when life gets hard or we start to nitpick at each other, that we jump back to the Extreme Ownership and say, are we doing everything we can to make things happen? Anybody can direct, anybody can tell people what to do, anybody can be a manager essentially, but in order to lead people, you have to pull them forward and not push them, right? You have to lead from the front, and that's my leadership perspective, is do what needs to be done, and hopefully people fall in your wake and hang on and rise with you. And yeah, definitely Extreme Ownership is a game changer. And I think that's all I have. I think I'm within the time frame. It was pretty quick, nuts and bolts. Looking forward to talking to y'all soon.